League of Legends. Today we are playing Janna, and I'm highlighting this because I've been playing basically nothing but Janna. I was in Plat 5 and noticed that basically my win rate on every champion was about 50%, unless I play mid lane, in which it's slower. Except that when I played Janna, I seemed to win about 70-75% of my games. So I thought, hey, what happens if I just play Janna? And I kept winning 75% of my games. So now I ranked up and I'm going to keep doing it. And I want to talk about why the champion's good for people that are not in the esteemed ranks of Platinum 4. Show a little bit about how she plays. And you can see right away that these team comps were pretty much in ideal Janna conditions. And what I mean by that is that our lane, Janna Kalista, this is gonna bully pretty hard. Kalista is just a pretty big laning shitlord. And what Janna does is give her a lot of safety to her bullying as she takes the big Krug from Lee Sin right there. Whereas Alistar is not a strong laning support without jungle pressure. He's amazing at supporting ganks and ganking himself, but as far as laning supports, unless his ADC gets super far ahead, he's not going to be nearly as useful in lane as Janna. So what we're going to do here, it's level 1, so just going to harass with autos whenever I can. And this is something that I've just been trying to work on. I'm not too good at it, and you'll see me like taking some bad trades when I try to get in extra autos here and there. And as I'm doing this, Kalista goes way too deep, tries to get some extra damage in. And I do want to talk about, Kalista made some mistakes here, so let's back up. So what she does is she's gonna go along this bush here in order to harass Lucian, and this is pretty bad. She goes too far because Alistar coming from this direction, if he had W, she'd just be like CC'd forever. But even so, like, he gets this angle on her to Q, and then Lucian trades back a shitload of damage, as you can see. And my shield is on cooldown because I had already used it. So they had already shoot through this. So we do get some damage on them, but it basically goes even, other than them using 2 summoner spells. This Q did miss, but I think it was actually a decent zoning Q just to make sure that Lucian couldn't come forward to deal any more damage. So now the status is Kalista is at 128 health and Lucian is at 240. So it's not too great, but Kalista did get the XP advantage from stealing Lee's Krug. So she took more damage than she should have, but it's not the end of the world. And here, Alistar loses his goddamn mind. Okay, and Lucian dies for it. I'm gonna go over this in really slow-mo and talk about why, even with Alistar's flash engage on the super low health, Kalista did not work. So first of all, Alistar screws up. For all Alistar players, never ever ever flash Q. The move that you're going to do is Q flash. So if your flash is on D like mine, you're actually going to press QD in quick succession like you're doing a WQ combo. What he does is flash and then walk and then pulverize, which is really bad. It gives us more time to react to it. And it actually gives me time to shield Kalista after, so that most of the damage is going to be prevented by the shield when he makes the engage. And it just goes downhill from here. So he comes down, and then he walks back, doesn't auto in the meantime, and punches that way. I exhaust and knock up, so Lucian is going to be doing very little DPS compared. This Alistar is not doing shit other than auto attacking, because he used his exhaust back here, he used his flash, he used his abilities. He's only level 2. Literally all he has is auto attacks. Yeah, dude's fucking dead. Because I was at full health, they're trying to focus the Kalista, and they just, with the exhaust, they did not have the damage for it. Especially because I shielded the first one. So Alistar royally fucked that up. and I guess Callista doing a bad trade up here worked out and gave us first blood in a way. So now you're going to see us push in the wave, and we're going to go back. And coming up is something that Callista, let me rearrange this. Callista actually starts doing this pretty badly, in that when you're winning a lane, like we have a kill up, we have a lane with a laning advantage already, you don't want to like hard push it into their tower all the time, because then you can't deal them any damage, then you can't get any more kills on them. Getting kills is great. Here I take an awful trade, lose all my HP because I was... So what I did here was I was trying to auto them as Callista was taking minions back here. It was just a bad idea. I got way too aggressive when my ADC was in no position to assist in the trade. So this is fine here. We have to play a little bit back while I regain some HP. And yeah, hopefully if this Callista was really good, we would keep the wave right here. Like she would manage it so that happened. But that's not what's going to happen. So it hits our tower, and then what's going to happen is, because of this, it's going to slow push up here, and then Callista's just going to keep pushing it over and over and over. And because of that, we won't actually be able to do much, get much pressure. The one advantage that it does have is it should attract Mundo to this lane in order to attempt to gank us. And because I'm Janna, that will have the effect of just wasting his time, because he won't be able to do anything against Callista Janna. So, like I said, wave starts slow pushing after it hits our tower. You can see more casters here, and this isn't very interesting. Oh, I guess it is kind of interesting. So yeah, we just do a trade there, take some of his health, because Callista with Janna's shield trades very well. And now, yeah, she's just gonna keep pushing this over and over and over. Lucian is much better about freezing the wave than Callista is. You can see Alistar actually makes a good play here, holding the minions, just sacrificing some of his not very valuable HP to do that. I might have screwed up queuing there, might have moved the minions up here. We trade a little bit. Lucian doesn't have any mana. But he'll get almost all this CS under tower. Yeah, and as soon as the wave here, Callista starts pushing it. Don't do that. I get in what harass I can, which is not much. If you're about to go back, this is fine, but she isn't. I want to go back here, and Callista is telling me that she wants to wait for more gold for something, so I indulge her. Our boarding situation isn't too great, but I think that we can disengage from ganks alright. And actually the wave is so pushed up that them receiving a gank would be pretty awkward, like Alistar would have to come all the way down. Yeah, so I try to go back and Callista's like, no, we have to stay for more gold, which is fine. Now we actually go back. And so I usually go for immediate Frost Queen's Claim. Oop, weird thing. So before this happens, I usually go for an immediate Frost Queen's Claim as Janna before Sightstone, because it actually helps you defeat ganks, and you're usually fine with just a pink ward and trinkets and being Janna. The reason I went for Sightstone is I thought, well, my Callista's just going to push into their tower all the time, so we're not going to have the opportunity to bully with the Frost Queen's Claim, and we'll need the Sightstone against ganks if we are pushed up all the time. So Callista R's me in, and then Olaf comes in on the teleport. This is a smart teleport by him. Our damage on this guy is not going to do very much because it's an ulting Alistar. But Lucian doesn't have any mana, and Olaf can just very easily whack him to death because he's Olaf. That's what the champion does. So it takes Alistar's exhaust, and it actually takes all 4 of their summoners, but Callista still goes under their tower and kills the Alistar with 1,000 spears sticking out of him because he'd already used ult and all of his skills and summoners. So I think the reason I'm going here is that Callista is alone in this lane. She's free to push it in, get some tower damage on, but it looks like there's shit about to go down up here. Maybe I can get a gank. Callista chooses to go mid instead of taking the tower. I think I would have preferred her just staying here and taking the tower, but this is fine too. So I'm making a Q here. I want you to think, where should this Q be pointed? Am I? Yeah. So I'm summoning my tornado, and Lux is almost dead, and we're both bound. So where should the direction of this Q be, and how fast should I fire it off? And you'll see what I do in just a second. So this is something that I think a lot of players might mess up, or might just not hit the Lux with that Q. So the reason to do it here is that with the changes to Janna's Q, it's actually it's a slow skill shot, and if you just quick fire it off, it doesn't have the range that it used to. The trade-off is that it goes further when you do charge it up. So I know that literally her only escape path is running this way. So I point it there, wait for her to start running, and I get the Q for longer knockup, further range. And I think, does it do more damage? Whatever. Anyway, so that's how you use that, when you need to use it in ways that predict where the opponent is going to go, just because it's so slow. And it's pretty weak if you just fire it off unless they're chasing you. Yeah, if they're running away, you need to charge it up. If they're chasing you, you can quick fire it. When I say quick fire, I just mean just tapping QQ on your keyboard to do the fastest possible. So we're really far ahead here. So we can do whatever we want to this lane pretty much, even down on HP. Alistar ults, but it doesn't do anything. Oh, I forgot to note this. So I do have heal, and I told Callista to take exhaust. If your ADC is okay with it, ask them to do this every game as Janna, because your heal is actually more powerful because of the Wind Speaker's Mastery. Gives it plus 10% heal, and gives both people bonus armor and MR. I think it only gives them bonus armor and MR. Whatever. It's better if you take heal, and they take exhaust because of that. So even with them full health, they basically can't get anywhere near us because Callista Janna can just kite endlessly. So they're rotating. We hang out here for way too long despite nothing going on. Lee gets caught counter jungling and dies to our lane. Yeah, we should have rotated to that. Maybe we could have gotten something in exchange. I don't know. But we're not doing shit. And here you'll see me screw up. I literally forget that I don't have Frost Queen's Claim. So I buy all this bullshit, being like, well, have my 2 standard core items, time to get boots. No, I never upgraded this. It's mostly because I usually go Frost Queen's Claim before Sightstone, but doing it the other way, I looked at the icon and didn't see that it was the second one. So more auto attacking, 15 gold, 15 gold, 15 gold. It's especially important in lane to auto attack when you have the charges, because it does an extra 15 damage and basically almost a CS worth of gold per auto. And 3 of us come here and take the tower because Alistar was the only one defending. And this game will get pretty out of hand quickly. And here you're going to see me just like rotating around the map. And as Janna, once laning phase is broken down, you have to recognize in advance like where is there going to be a fight and move to those places before it actually happens, or start moving to those places. It's the saddest flash. So Nasus probably would have 1v2'd there and killed both of them, but I shielded Olaf, I Q'd the Nasus, and then Nasus raged out in chat like, WTF are you doing up there? Well, we took their tower, where else is Janna gonna go? Something that lower elo supports aren't going to do very effectively is once a tower goes down, they're not going to move around the map in ways that make sense. They'll just like try to babysit their ADC all the time. Callista soloed Lucian because she was super far ahead, and now she doesn't. I don't know why she runs this way instead of into the Janna. I quick fire off the Monsoon to make them go away. See, this is why playing Janna into Nasus Mundo is the best. Because, like, if you have everything, even with 3 people, they can't get through, like, Flash, Heal, Monsoon, Tornado. It's just not going to happen. And then that gives you enough time for your team to show up and kill them. Yeah. Excuse me. Nice little headbutt away when you still have the Lee Sin Q on him. And we're going to speed through this because I think it's pretty academic from here. Like, all of our lanes are ahead of all of their lanes. I have 5 assists, 0 deaths. I'm stacking the Dark Seal. And I actually get Frost Queens now, yay! Another itemization note. So, the Sightstone buy was very situational, just like a prediction of how the lane was going to go in terms of what item I needed. It's standard that I won't get Sightstone until like even sometimes as late as 20 minutes. If it's not necessary, you just like buy pink wards and use your trinket and your Frost Queens. If laning phase is going on for a very long time and they have a low pressure jungler, or you're not pushing that hard. Because Sightstone, the reason you get Sightstone early is to save money, basically. Well, I guess that's not true anymore now that you can't actually buy green wards. But still, the point is, like, Frostwing gets you a lot of money. So it's better to get your gold income item early. Hey, what a concept. And this battle is really funny. Like, Nasus runs at me and I just walk away and he doesn't deal any damage. I guess because he didn't have that many stacks. 300 stacks. And I want to point out how much health this Monsoon restores here. So before going into this, let's look at this. So I have 92 AP, and Monsoon restores, it has a 0.5 AP ratio per second. So that's a 1.5 AP ratio total. So it's going to restore 146 per second plus the 10% from my Wind Speaker's Mastery. So that's about 160 HP per second. That's this will restore 480 HP to everyone in the area if I full channel it. And in this scenario, I would definitely want to full channel it. Full channeling is something that a lot of Janna players or less experienced Janna players don't do at all. They think of it just as a reposition, and not the fact that it restores an ungodly amount of HP, because you actually have some AP items. So watch this. So she binds me. I get a shield from Lee. I'm at 481 HP, and then I actually live through the entire like Lux combo, and my team kills everyone. Cool, now I actually have more AP. And now I'm trying to provide shields for this Baron without getting anywhere near it, because if the Baron deals its AoE to me from being near it, then I will just instantly get executed. So we have Baron, we're really far ahead. Game should be pretty predictable from here on out. Oh, I sped through the whole fight. Why did I do that? No, I don't want to do that. So I'm coming up here, Janna to the rescue. Oh shit, Cassiopeia's caught. Help everybody, Cassio. Okay, we're totally fine. And it's worth keeping in mind just how powerful this shield is. So just like the Monsoon had that ridiculous AP ratio, Eye of the Storm is now 360 plus the 10%, so that's 400 HP shield for 5 seconds. And my ADC has health, that's a third, no, more than a quarter of my ADC's total health bar. I can give them in a shield. Cassiopeia actually has less HP than that. So yeah, more like a third of Cassiopeia's health in a shield. This is why you actually build AP on Janna, is so you shield someone that just don't die. And then it's back off cooldown again, because you also have CDR. So, now that the game's ending, I want to talk about, just recap. So in lane, what I did was I recognized that we had a strong bullying advantage with Kalista Janna over Alistar Lucian. I just used my auto attack at every opportunity to zone Alistar away, get some free damage. You screw it up eventually, but it's just something I've been working on, auto attacking every single chance I get. You will take some bad trades, but more often than not, you will deal good damage and even earn some more gold. Then, when both of our laners got low, Alistar tried to all in, did not go well for them because Janna has a shield and I hit the Q. Thing to keep in mind on the Q, when they are chasing you, you quick fire it. When you are trying to catch someone, you will usually want to predict their movement a second or two in advance and charge it more, because it will go significantly longer. If you charge it up the whole thing, it'll go a full screen's vertical distance. The Monsoon, you'll note that I didn't make any kind of crazy insect plays. I wasn't trying to like flash people under my tower. I wasn't just using it to push people away or reposition. I was using it for the heal because of the absurd AP ratio. And there was a time I was being chased. I quick fired it off because there were 3 people on me and I would have died otherwise. But in team fights, you are going to want to make sure that as many of your teammates are on top of you as possible when their health is kind of low but not like verge of death, and then give them all their health back. And then build notes. Go Frost Queen's Claim, item is broken. It's good for chasing, it's good for being chased. And then, so your core is going to be Frost Queen's, Sightstone. I go Lucidity Boots. You could also go Mobies. I think that Lucidity is better right now because it's 800. And then Medjai's, especially because Medjai's builds out of a 400 gold stacking item. And that's pretty much it for Janna. Just, she's really good because in lanes that bully, they get to bully safely. And I think she's, if not the best mid-game champion in the game, then the best mid-game support. So I hope that people learn something about